When you think about gaming, you never actually take the time to think about all the crazy situations and scenarios that happen to you in the game, or while you're playing with other people. From completely owning your friends or random players online in a game, to tossing your remote at a TV screen, we've all got a special place in our hearts when it comes to our memories shared by gaming. Hey yo guys, my name is Jordan the Fear Raiser, and welcome to Raiserverse, the show where we ask you to submit your stories, and well, we animate them. If you want to submit your story, be sure to do so on our subreddit page, Raiserverse, and or by emailing us, both links down in the description below. In today's video, we talk about some of the crazy, awkward gaming experiences that you guys sent into us. And before we get into the video, guys, be sure to leave a like on the video, follow me on my social media, and of course, subscribe to always be on top of the latest videos. Also, be sure to smack that bell button, and let's get right into it. Sorry, I had to. Our first story is titled, Cheated Out of a Game by Cool Gem. It was in 3rd grade and my school was into Pokemon card games, and I used to beat everybody at it. I was the best at my school. One day, this one kid shows up and said he wanted to play, and I said sure, I've got nothing to lose. We began to play, but something was off. I placed a water Pokemon down, and he put a ground Pokemon down. Everyone began to cheer and grab my cards and gave them to the kid. I just yelled at them with, "What do you think you're doing? The game's not over!" Apparently the kid paid everyone to push me out of the way and grab my cards and say that I was defeated. I will never forget that kid and his Pokemon, Palo Sand. That's why, till this day, I win every Pokemon game and hate Palo Sand.
Our next story is titled Slippery Hands by 03pixelf. When I was younger, my little sister and I had just gotten a Wii. Now, I usually have this problem with wearing things like bracelets. It's not that I didn't like bracelets, they were just uncomfortable. Anyway, my sister and I decided to play that bowling game that came with the Wii. I remember my dad telling me to put the strap on the controller on my wrist. Of course, I didn't listen. As I was going up for my turn, the remote flew out of my hand and hit the window. The window didn't break, so my dad didn't really think too much about it. He just told me to put the remote strap on my wrist when it was my turn to play. I didn't want to, but I did anyway, because my dad told me to and I felt bad for throwing the remote. After a few rounds of playing the game, it was my turn again. I forgot to put the remote strap back on my wrist. Well, my older sister was visiting that day. I wasn't paying attention and I accidentally threw the remote controller again, but this time, I hit my older sister with it. I felt so bad. My little sister was laughing and my dad gets up and takes the controller away from me. He told me that I was done playing the Wii for the day. To this day, my dad keeps reminding me to put the remote controller strap on my wrist whenever I play the Wii. It's funny now, but at the time, I was super embarrassed.
Our next story is titled Most Embarrassing Gaming Story by Antisocial Anime. So, when I was around 14, I went through this MMO stage. I came across this new MMO game I really wanted to play. When I finally got the game, I joined a guild, which was not a bright idea, but, you know, because I was still new to the game, and, using controls my whole life, arrow keys for most of my life, kinda new, just this change. So on this day, my guild decided to beat the final boss of this dungeon. I played the role as a healer and pretty much stuck on the sideline. When the end of the fight came and the boss was in its 3rd stage, healing was definitely needed. So I pressed the healing button, except it wasn't working. And there was this one guy in the group who didn't like me for some reason, and I thought I was annoying, and I was telling them the key wasn't working. And he just said, "I knew we should have had another healer better than this stupid girl." As he kept repeating, it had made the situation worse. I pressed a button which used my ability that was so very strong that after I used it, I just died. Yeah. Then, since I wasn't there to heal the rest of the guild, they died too. I was so embarrassed when I later found out I was clicking 4 instead of 6. I later left the guild to get more practice. I definitely learned my lesson. Our next story is titled The Time I Got Flawless Twice by PowerSeeker707. My friends were over and we were playing Call of Duty Black Ops 2, and I was talking mad trash. Then it was time to go against my friend. Let's call him the most fitting name for this situation I can think of, Karma. Anyway, me and Karma sit down to play, and I was doing your annoying pre-round fighting words. As you may expect, I got beaten. Not just beaten, but flawless. I was so annoyed, and my friends were just laughing. I was so mad. I challenged him again, and I won. I started talking trash again, and then he told me that it was 1-1, so we played again. I was ready. I was confident. I was attentive. I got flawless. From that day, I never underestimated Karma, literally and figuratively.
Our first story is titled An Awkward Confession by E_Squirrel. I don't play many online games, but when I did, I was a great team player. So, me and one of my classmates and a guy friend, let's call him Sam, we were playing on a server that I made for him and our other friends to play on. We were the only ones on the server then. I had texted everyone else asking where they were because we had planned this game day weeks ahead since everyone had busy schedules. And they said they would be on to it and were just getting some stuff ready. So me and Sam were on the server alone chatting when, out of nowhere, he says, "I love you." Now, I'm not one of the most attractive girls, and I've never been confessed to by anyone unless it was a joke, which I hate. "Excuse me?" I said, quite confused. In that exact moment, everyone else joins and he says, "I love you and will you go out with me?" Everyone was silent. Everyone just read what he said and he must have felt so embarrassed. But I think what was worse is when I flat out said no to him and then left the game feeling super embarrassed because of the situation. The next day, we had class together and I had to sit next to him. It was so awkward. We're still friends, but we don't play games together as much anymore.
Well guys, there you have it, another episode of Razorverse. Don't forget to submit your stories so that your story could potentially end up in next week's Razorverse. Again guys, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe so that you'll always be updated on my latest videos. And for next week's 2 topics to pick from, we have most embarrassing first dates and crazy trend-related stories. So essentially a story that relates to a recent trend, like Five Nights at Freddy's or Bendy or some kind of Yandere. You know what I'm talking about? Some kind of story that relates to like some trends and stuff. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching and we'll see you next time. Alright guys, take care.